So, I know the last video is long, but I want to put things into perspective. I did that lesson in the book with my WIN kids today, and it took us pretty much the entire time. So, instead of wasting 30 minutes of your time on a mini lesson, you only had to do it in 9 to 10 minutes. So I call that a win. Anyways, it's time for the mini lesson. I do promise to try to be as fast as possible on this one, but not too fast that you don't understand. So how can you read and write decimals to the thousandths? So here's the one that I was talking about. This cube you're used to seeing, 10 times 10 times 10 equals 10 to the third, which is 1,000 cubes. And this is awesome because we can use this to our advantage when we're learning about decimals. So let's say that this is one whole. A box is filled with 1,000 cubes. So here's one box, 1,000 cubes. Amy picks out 4 cubes. Thanks, Amy. How can you represent 4 out of 1,000 cubes as a decimal? So I know fractions pretty well. I know, and so does she, that I can write 4 out of 1,000 as 4 out of 1,000, or 4 thousandths. Okay, so here's my fraction. And I tell kids, if you don't know the fraction, just say the number in your head, close your eyes, and picture it. 4 thousandths. Okay, I know what that looks like. 4 thousandths. But now this lesson is about taking what I know about fractions and turning it into a decimal. So down here it says, it helps you understand, that the number name for 4 thousandths is 4 thousandths. A decimal place value chart, here's my decimal place value chart, can help you determine the decimal. Notice that the 4 thousandths place is 3 places to the right of the decimal because of what I told you in the other lesson. Okay? This place is 10 times smaller than the 1, so it's tenths. This is 100 times smaller than the 1, so it's called the hundredths. This is 1,000 times smaller than the 1, so this is called the thousandths place. So 4 thousandths can be represented by the second decimal, by the decimal 0.004. And I am going to say that like a math moron because it helps you understand where your place value or placeholder zeros go. Okay? Now, you know how to write 4 thousandths. How would you write 444 thousandths? So 444 thousandths, close your eyes, picture as a fraction, 444 thousandths. Cool. Now, how can that be represented by a decimal? 444 thousandths is read as 444 thousandths. That's the word form, and can be represented by the decimal 0.444. If the number says thousandths, it needs to end right here, okay? If there's 3 digits, it's easy, 444. If there's only 1 digit and I say thousandths, I need 2 zeros. If it was 44 thousandths, I still need my number to end in the thousandths place, and I still need 3 digits here, okay? Because in order for this to end in the thousandths, it needs to be 3 place values from the ones because it's 1,000 times less than the ones, which means I do need to put an extra 0 here, okay? But we'll continue practicing this in future lessons. For now, the goal of this lesson is for you to understand the place value relationships. Okay, so I'm going to start with my middle 4. The 4 to the right. Remember our tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So here's tenths, here's hundredths, here's thousandths. Okay, this middle 4 is purple. This is hundredths. The 4 to its right, the tenths, is 10 times larger. The 4 to, did I say right or left? Oh my gosh. I'm terrible at lefts and rights. Sorry, you'll just have to get used to it and think even harder. So the 4 to the left is larger. That's how I always remember my L's. For left, larger. Okay? So left gets larger, which is weird because you're like, no, it's smaller. Yeah, but this is 100 times smaller. This is only 10 times smaller, and this is the ones. This over here is 1/10 the size. So anything to the right is going to be smaller and tinier. So I move to the right, it's 1/10 the size. And I already am going back on my promise and talking too much. So let me just do an example problem. 0.555, the 5 in the middle, is equal to 5 hundredths. The 5 to its right, oh my gosh, the 5 to its left is larger. This is 5 tenths. So this is 10 times on this side. And over here, this is 1/10 the size, the digit over here, okay? So the book does get, or the practice buddy does get confusing. You have to read it really carefully because it might say the digit to its left is, and you have to look at the digit to its left. Or you might say the digit on its left, or the digit to the right is how many times. So it just be careful, read it carefully. We're talking about precision here, math practice number 6. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, be careful. Okay, so now for the convince me, I want you to be able to tell me how 4 thousandths is the same as and different from 444 thousandths. Okay, so I should see something that is the same and something that is different. Good luck. I'm done. I'll try to be quicker in the future.